Hello everyone, it's DV here, and today I have for you the Helvetia Man build. For this one I wrote a little bit of a backstory that you can read in the background. I'm a big fan of Fastnacht. I've been collecting the masks for years now, and I wanted to make a build that is linked to it, so here it is. For the build itself, we are going to use laser weapons only, very simple loadout with a laser rifle and a Gatling laser. The character is going to be a ghoul character, and we are going to put emphasis on AP and glow recovery on kills, extreme VATS sustainability, VATS criticals, overall great tankiness, mostly via high HP, drugs duration and crippling immunity. That build is definitely close to unkillable. I did not die a single time since I've been playing it, so yeah, pretty tanky build for sure. We're gonna use a single set of armor for everything, including raids. And as always guys, don't hesitate to leave a little like, comment or even subscribe to the channel. These videos take a long time to make, so if you could do that, that would be very appreciated. The build has been played and tested on public servers during season 24, and yeah, without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the loadout. First weapon for mobbing mostly is going to be a standard laser rifle with Juggernaut for more damage. Since our HP is high, that was the best choice for us here. VATS enhance for more VATS accuracy, glowing to regen or glow on kills, and pinpointers for more damage. The weapon mods have been chosen to have as much damage as possible without having to use more perk cards to have the best VATS accuracy possible. The highest AP cost for number cruncher, and I also use a scope here for tagging enemies when they are too far for VATS. Our boss killer and raid weapon will be the regular Gatling laser. I didn't choose the ultraside version of this because the AP cost of this one is more high and that's not what we want here, so we went for the regular Gatling laser. We're gonna go Furious for regular onslaught here, Vital for more crit damage, VATS optimized to lower our AP cost to 6, and Conductors to reduce the AP cost way further. Since we are going to crit every other shot with this build, this will lower technically the AP cost to 1 per shot. In theory, still, because in practice it's not exactly the case, but you'll be able to stay in VATS for a long time with this. And for infinite VATS, the amount of slime cake or coffee you'll need in theory it's 2, but I had better results with 3, to be honest. The servers and the game, you know, they don't behave as they should most of the time. So yeah, 3 is gonna be the number of slime cake or coffee you need to sustain VATS for 25 seconds. And for the weapon mods for this one, I went for the mods that will give us more crit damage and VATS accuracy pretty much. Just take these ones and you'll be good to go. Now for the build itself, the specials are going to be 8 in strength, 7 in perception, 9 in endurance, charisma at 6, intelligence at 7, 9 in agility and 10 in luck. For the legendary perks, pretty much the usual for me. We're gonna have 5 specials and taking one for the team. Here I chose strength, endurance, agility, perception and luck. Now for the regular perks, on the strength we're gonna have the perks for Bulletstorm, bringing the big guns, Bulletstorm and lock and load. We're gonna have easy target, as always. To me it's a mandatory perk. We're not gonna be a crippling machine with that build, but yeah, still. For nuke bosses or big enemies when other people are involved, this one is gonna trigger very quickly. We're gonna have scattershot still as well. I think it's necessary if you are alone and you go for big enemies like Scourge Beasts, Myoluk Queens and so on. On the perception, we're gonna have number cruncher, mostly for the laser rifle. The AP cost for this one is very high, so number cruncher is gonna give us pretty good results. Tormentor, as always, on all my builds almost. This one is gonna give us way more damage when we have big enemies in events and nuke bosses as well. Tank killer, mandatory for any gun build, pretty much. Concentrated fire, very useful here because our Gatling laser fires super fast, so this one is gonna be very efficient. And awareness for more VATS accuracy. Under endurance, life giver. Chem Fiend, we're gonna take drugs. We are a ghoul, not feral, so drugs are part of our lives pretty much, so yeah, better have them last longer. True Hiker, I carry a lot of food and a lot of toxic goo at all times, so True Hiker definitely mandatory. Star Genes, if you ask me, even on a ghoul, mandatory. I'd rather have it and not have to do my mutations again if I make a mistake, so yeah, mandatory for me. Glowing Gut, for the toxic goo to be very efficient. Ironclad for more resistances in general. We're gonna wear full set of robot armor, so this one is going to give us the best result possible. And adamantium skeleton, because yeah, one of the perks of this build is to have limb damage immunity. This one is definitely necessary, and since our endurance is going to be pushed very high, it's going to give us pretty good results. On the charisma, classic strange in numbers, we are mutated, so this one is a no-brainer. Tenderizer, our weapon shoots very fast, so tenderizer is going to become useful in a lot of cases, and especially if you share it, as I do here. That's the one you should share, for daily driver at least. Your team is going to help you during big events when you have big targets, and tenderizer is going to stack very fast. United all deal here. If you have a ghoul in your team, that's what you should choose. If you don't have a ghoul in your team, I suggest you take suppressor rank 3 instead for more tankiness. Under intelligence, good with salt for all the food I carry at all times, mandatory for me now. Power user, we're not gonna use power armor whatsoever, but it also works for weapons that use cores. So we're gonna go from 500 shots to 1000 shots with each fusion core on the Gatling laser with that one. And science, of course, we only do energy damage, so science is definitely mandatory. On the agility, we're gonna have the perks for regular onslaught, being gunslinger expert, guerrilla expert, and guerrilla master. We're gonna have one rank of gunslinger here, because yeah, I don't have room for more, so that's gonna be rank 1. Pack in light for a little bit more AP regen. Gunfu rank 3, because yeah, it's kind of a what I call a dynamo build here. So we want full rank of Gunfu for sure. And Adrenaline, a classic. Don't do any builds outside of raids without it. It's too good to ignore. On the luck, part of the Dynamo build thing. Grim Reaper Sprint for sure. Our luck is gonna be pushed fairly high, or even very high in a way. This one is gonna give us AP back on kill. So this plus Gunfu works super well together with the Gatling laser. And also works well with the laser rifle, because since it's a one-shot weapon for us, we're gonna get more AP than we spend pretty much with this, so we ensure that we stay high AP at all times. Class Freak, a classic. We want to reduce the negative effects of our numerous mutations, so that's a mandatory for me on any build, to be honest. Better criticals rank 2, no room for more, unfortunately. We are a crit build here, so yeah. One gun army still to do more limb damage and use crippling the best we can. Energy weapons are still not great at it, but since the new update, they are definitely better, so one gun army, full rank. Critical savvy, we are a crit build, so obviously we're gonna go for critical savvy. And faulty spots, because yeah, when you are a ghoul and you use guns, at least this one you should take for sure, it's pretty powerful. And yeah, that's all for the perks. For the armor now, to fit the theme of the build, I went for robot armor, but feel free to use something else for sure. For the mods, very simple, I used vanguards, endurance, healthy and limit breaking on all pieces. I used vanguards because, yeah, with this season, it was supposed to give us up to 10% damage reduction with each piece. Right now, on live servers, it's still 6, it should be 10, so if that doesn't change, I suggest you take Lucid instead. Endurance, of course, because it's a Juggernaut build and we need as much HP as possible. Healthy for the same reasons, more HP. And limit breaking, full set, because yeah, we are a crit build here. We could do with 4 since our luck is gonna be high, but I'd rather have 5 pieces and be good with it. For the mods, I went for polished metal on all of them. It felt like the right one to choose, to be honest, when it comes to what it gives you in terms of resistances. Feel free to use something else, but for me, polished metal seemed like the best choice. Biocom mesh on the torso, because yeah, we want our drug duration to be as high as possible, since we are a ghoul and we need to be on drugs pretty much at all times. For the arms here, I went for 2 pieces of strengthened on each arm. This plus adamantium skeleton, which is pushed very high since we have very high endurance, is gonna give us immunity to limb damage, so 2 pieces of strengthened is more than enough. And finally on the legs, I went for custom fitting, just to consume less AP while sprinting, why not, right? For the under armor, I went for treated lining for more poison resistance and raider style for more luck. The goal here is to have as much luck as possible for Grim Reaper Sprint to work the best possible. I showed on the screen here what I found about Grim Reaper Sprint, because it's really hard to know if it's a threshold that you need to go above to get more AP back, or if it's just scaling with every point of luck you have. Not sure about that, so my deal here was to go, okay, I'm gonna try to get at least 30 luck. So yeah, that's what we do here with this under armor piece. And yeah, that's all for the armor. Alright, let's look at the C.A.M.P buffs that we are going to take for this build. The most important one I would say is the Forruptor from this season. If you take only one thing from this season, take this. It's gonna give you 25% VATS accuracy for 2 hours. It's pretty amazing. A few other camp buffs that you can take is definitely the Lethal Love Seat for more drug duration. If you don't have it, it's not too bad, it's not too much of a problem, but if you have it, definitely use this one to make your Psycho buff last very long. The classic, playing a music instrument for more AP regen. You don't have to, but I choose to do it, most of the time at least. The Derby game for more intelligence instantly. This one is gonna help us do more damage with all of our weapons for sure, and more XP as well. The Fortune Teller Machine for +2 in luck instantly. This one also not mandatory, but if you have it, definitely use it. The Exercise Bike for +2 in endurance. We are playing Juggernaut with this build. We want super high HP, so if you have this one, don't hesitate to use it as well. Now for the stats, as you can see, our resistances are not too bad. 600 plus in damage resistance, a little bit above 400 in energy resistance. Poison resistance is at 129, not bad. And fire and cryo are at 138. Our HP is at 835 now, but if I take a Psycho buff, it's gonna be 920 here. I also have a Ghoul in my team and I use United Ordeal right now, so it can be a little bit lower if it's not the case. For the effects here, you can see the camp buffs I took, including Psycho buff here. For the food, pretty much the classic stack for me as a carnivore. We're gonna have Sweet Mood Fruit Tea that I craft for more crit damage. Most of them are generated at my camp. You should have a link towards another video of mine where I explain the food a little bit more. Don't hesitate to click on this if you want to know more. The Radok Burn Tents here for more AP regen. This one I have to craft. There is no generator for it yet. Sting Wings 2 that I craft because I have Sting Wings right next to my camp, so it's easy for me to do it. But if you don't want to bother with this, you can definitely take the other Perception food that you can get from a Deathclaw roaster, but it's not too bad either. But me, I choose to craft this one. For the mutations, the classics: Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Carnivore, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Earl Mentality, Marsupial, Scaly Skin, Speed Demon, and Unstable Isotope. For the perks that scale with the specials, we're gonna have Adamantium Skeleton at 72 limb damage resistance. This plus the mods we have on our armor is gonna grant us immunity to limb damage, which is pretty nice. Awareness with our eye perception is gonna be at 32% VATS accuracy. This plus the camp buff from the Forruptor is gonna give us pretty good VATS accuracy for sure. Life Giver is giving us plus 201 HP here, pretty good as well. Science is gonna be at 29 or 30% more energy damage. I have no idea why this occurs right now. You have two numbers, I don't know what it means. And yeah, a United Ordeal is in effect here because I have a Ghoul in my team, but yeah, it's not gonna be the case at all times. And for the specials, we're gonna have 27 in strength, 32 in perception, 42 in endurance, 5 in charisma, 24 in intelligence, 35 agility, and 33 luck. And yeah, that's all for the stats. Alright, let's start with a little bit of a tankiness test. And also at the same time, we're gonna check if we are actually immune to limb damage. But before that, I'm gonna show you my weapon wheel real quick. I have Slime Cake here. I only use these for nuke bosses or something like the Bigfoot or in raids. Outside of that, really not necessary to use any of these or canned coffee for that matter. In here I have my laser rifle, my Gatling laser here, Toxic Goo on key number 3, always there for me. I have also a third zapper with medics for healing NPCs as always. I have a jetpack chest piece for quick swapping when I really need a jetpack and I can put back my regular chest piece here. Psycho buff, the only drug we're gonna take with this build. No need for anything else. You could do overdrive in raids as well, but I want to keep things simple. A syringer just in case. I don't use it very often because, well, I do only the energy damage with that build anyway. So yeah, it's more for other players than me in that case. And yeah, that's all for the wheel. Now, for the ammo I'm gonna carry, since I don't have a lot of weight reduction of any kind, very reduced ammo carrying when I'm on the go. I don't need more anyway, to be honest, even in raids. I'm gonna have 4, 5 or 6 fusion cores pretty much. A little bit of ultraside fusion cells, but yeah, you're gonna make way more than you're gonna spend on these for sure. What I suggest you to do also for the management of fusion cores with that build is to only recharge if you have the charger. Only recharge the ones that you drop at 75%. don't bother trying to recharge almost depleted fusion cores. It takes too much time. Just go to the end of them. What I do also in raids, as soon as I drop 75% ones, I just put them in my stash for recharging them later on. Usually, just use your fusion cores fully and just keep the 75% ones for recharge. That's the best for me, I would say. I have a little bit of room in my stash to just store a few of them when I do raids. And you should be good to go. I have more fusion cores now than I had when I started playing this build, and I never farmed for any, so it's pretty ammo efficient, I would say, as long as you recharge the ones you drop. When it comes to aid, since I don't have weight reduction there as well, I only go with 5 super stim packs. I never get out of my glow, to be honest, so I never use them pretty much, but still, just in case. And also a few psycho buffs. Here I have 5, I can have 10, and that's pretty much it. I have a lot of other shit here, but yeah, don't look at that. Okay, so now, tankiness test. Let's go for Deathclaw. These ones are hitting pretty hard, so let's see how we do. This one is diseased, but still. Let's see how much hits we can take. Well, I don't know where this one went, but didn't do any damage. So yeah, as you can see, we can tank quite a few hits from this one. We're gonna dispose of him. It's a diseased one now, so it's not that strong, to be honest. But yeah. As you can see, my limbs are perfectly fine. There's no way they are all fine after something like this if you don't have limb damage immunity, so yeah. We can confirm here that we will never be crippled. Let's take a few more hits from a proper Deathclaw like this one. I'm gonna put some glow back. And yeah, as you can see, each hit doesn't take that much glow out. Now the problem is, it's still gonna break our armor. Armor is breaking way more faster with this update. Okay, let's finish this one as well. Almost a 3-shot, but just not enough. There we go. Perfect. Alright, here we are at West Tech. This time we're gonna do something a little bit different than usual. I'm gonna try to pack them all and test the AP regen with Gun Fu and Grim Reaper Sprint. So I'm gonna try to have them more or less at the same spot. So yeah, look at my HP when I'm shooting at them. So as you can see, comes back up on kill. And yeah, we stayed full pretty much. Alright, now that we are inside, let's talk about the charging mechanic for the laser rifle. As you can see, there's a little red light right below the scope here. That means the weapon is fully charged for a shot, but if you shoot, it goes off and on again. So if you shoot too quickly, you're never gonna be fully charged, so you may want sometimes between each shot, especially if you switch targets, wait for the red light to go back on. It goes quick still, but if you shoot too fast, it's not gonna work. So yeah, something to keep in mind for sure. So now, what we are going to do is test this weapon and see how fast we can get our glow back just by killing enemies. It's almost a one-shot, but I have no adrenaline here. Now it is. There we go. Our glow is going back up. Almost full. One more. And our glow is back to full. So yeah, this build definitely you're gonna use less toxic goo than usual, I would say. You can almost do without toxic goo at all, except maybe in raids. Okay, let's see how we do against a Scourge Beast. I don't think that's the Scourge Beast that is supposed to be here, but it's a legendary one, so you can do with this. You can definitely clear the area first with the laser rifle, so we can have maybe a little bit of adrenaline before we attack the Scourge Beast itself. Doesn't seem like there's much more people in here, so yeah, let's just go for it. As soon as she's gonna get crippled, we're gonna do more damage, for sure. And yeah, we barely used any AP to do that, and I almost fell into this thing. But that's fine. Alright, let's see how we do against a Myra Queen, if there's one. Hello. Yeah. She's there. Let's go immediately. Regular Myra Queen. Definitely didn't run out of VATS with this one. Alright, let's see how we do against our old friend Diogua. We have no Bullet Storm. Let's start. So yeah, once he's a little bit crippled, damage is gonna ramp up. And there we go. Pretty easy task, pretty easy task. Okay, let's have a look at the raids build now. We're gonna have 6 in strength, 7 in perception, 9 in endurance, 6 for charisma, 8 in intelligence, 10 agility and 10 luck. Now for the perks on the strength, pretty simple. All the perks needed for Bulletstorm, bringing the big guns, Bulletstorm and lock and load. We're also gonna have easy target here, mostly for EN06 and possibly for Epsilon if you cripple the fusion core. It can be done very quickly, so it can be useful for sure. On the perception, Tormentor, Tank Killer, Concentrated Fire, Awareness, and Center Masochist. This is the only swap I'm gonna have for this one. I use Center Masochist for EN06, and after that, I'm gonna go for Dawn Ranger, rank 3. On the Endurance, Life Giver, Ironclad, Camp Fiend, Through Hiker, Adamantium Skeleton, Star Jeans, Glowing Gut, and this is shared, so the same thing as for the Daily Driver. On the Charisma, Strange in Numbers, Tenderizer, this time EMT and Team Medic. I wanted 6 points in Charisma, just to be able to share Tenderizer or EMT. If someone shares Tenderizer already in your team when you are in raids, just share EMT. Pretty useful actually, EMT works fairly well now, I would say. So yeah, definitely a good one to have. On the Intelligence, Power User, Science, Good with Salt, and Curator this time. I'm gonna use magazines and bobbleheads when I have them at least in raids. So yeah, better have them, last longer for sure. On the Agility, we're gonna have the cards for regular Onslaught again, Gunslinger Expert, Guerrilla Expert, Guerrilla Master. Adrenaline is still there because yeah, I want this build to be able to defend the drill. I don't want to do that much swaps on that one, so Adrenaline is here. Gunfu is here as well for the same reasons. Jaguar Speed if you don't defend the drill but you want to run for the canisters. This one works super well now with the new cap limit for sprinting. You can literally run past the mole miners, they're not gonna hurt you. It's pretty amazing. And Gunslinger rank 3 for weak spot damage because I have the room. On the luck, Grim Reaper Sprint again for defending the drill mostly. Outside of that, not really useful. Class Freak, Critical Savvy, better criticals. Faulty spots again. And this time, instead of taking one gun army, I had room for rank 3 of better criticals, and I also add Ricochet and Junk Shield for more protection, and also, yeah, possibly for EN06 Shield, Ricochet, why not, right? And that's pretty much it for the build. Alright, strategy for the raid now. Pretty straightforward. We're gonna use the Gatling Laser 100% of the time to not lose our stacks of Bulletstorm. On EN06, pretty simple. We shoot the shield, then we shoot the torso. We try to stay in VATS as much as possible. Here I didn't even bother to take any slime cake. You just shoot, and it's gonna die, obviously. So yeah, pretty easy. For the drill defense, as you can see, we let Gunfu and Grim Reaper Sprint do the job. It works super well. Our AP is still full at all times almost. So yeah, no brainer here. Pretty easy. You can defend this thing for quite a while. They're gonna just die without too much effort. Now for picking up the canisters, as you can see here, I took 1 hit, 2 hits, still alive. I'm gonna take a 3rd here. That's a little bit much, and EMT saves me. But usually, how it's gonna go is this. You're gonna run so fast, they don't even see you passing by pretty much. Thanks to the new sprint speed cap. So yeah, here, I don't bother anymore, I just go. And as you can see, I don't get hit that often. Or at all, to be honest. For Epsilon, not too much to say here. I usually go for the fusion core because it can be crippled very quickly. So easy target can also come into play. Here, yeah, it doesn't align for me very well, but that's okay. And once the fusion core is down, you just go for the head, and that's pretty much it. For the crystals, the Gatling Laser is not great, but yeah, I want to keep my Bulletstorm stack, so I just go for it. As you can see, you can definitely play with the Mole Miner now. Doesn't matter if he hits you. So yeah, make things definitely easy. Except for the fact that the Gatling laser is not great for the crystals. That's how it is. And for the snake, easy as well. 3 slime cakes. And you go for the eye, and that's pretty much done. As you can see, the AP just stays up. I try to position myself to get 95% on the eye at all times. The poison you can pretty much ignore now. As you can see, I take barely any damage from it. The spit, same thing. So yeah, you just stay in VATS, avoid being thrown away off the platform. And here we're gonna be able to finish the snake before my AP runs out. And bam. Pretty straightforward, easy peasy. And that's all I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed the build. Don't forget to leave a like or a comment, that would be very helpful. But in the meantime guys, take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.